Your to-do list is never going to be finished. Not this week, not next week, not when you've cleared the backlog or got through the busy period or finally caught up. Never. Because you are the person who writes the list and you will always add to it faster than you can cross those things off. And I'm not saying this to create a panic inside of you. It's just a matter of life. Most of the women I speak with are running on a low, constant hum of feeling not quite enough. They have underlying subconscious beliefs that they are lazy compared to the women they see on the internet living their best lives and running the businesses that they are dreaming of. Or they're feeling disorganized. They're actually working extremely hard and still going to bed most nights with the feeling that they should have done more today. That feeling has a shape and a pattern. You'll probably notice it in your body. I know that I feel it. I've learned to recognize it. When I say I can feel it, it can be a lump in my throat, a sinking feeling in my tummy. Some people might describe it as a black, heavy rock in their solar plexus. In fact, a few years ago, I had that feeling every single day when I was showing up on clients' work, to the point where it was actually really getting me down. And I knew that I had to make a change. It was a big leap for me to make, but I did it. So I know that you can too if you need to. Right now, I know that that pattern will start on a Monday for some of you. You will start the week with good intentions. You've got a list. We all love a list, don't we? You've got a plan and you're going to make real progress this week. This is how that pattern goes. Monday goes reasonably well. By Wednesday, something has gone sideways. A client needs something, life gets in the way, and the plan, the to-do list starts to slip. By Friday, you've done a huge amount of work and somehow nothing has actually moved forward, nothing that actually matters. The important things, the ones that would genuinely change your business, they're just still sitting there untouched. So you tell yourself, I'll do better next week. You reorganize the list. Maybe you buy a new planner or try a different app. Or my personal favorite, highlighters. Different highlighters to mark the priority levels of the things I've got on my list. And then I forget the key to the highlighters, so the list stays the same anyway, or something else comes in and the priorities go out the window. So I'm back to square one. And then next week arrives and the same thing happens. I know I'm not the only one. Round and round it goes, month after month, and every cycle takes a little more out of you. Not because any single week is unbearable, but because that gap between what you're doing and what you're meant to be doing, it keeps widening. I spoke with a lady this week, and it's been a whole year since she promised to do something for her business. She said to me, I can't believe it's been 12 months, Claire. Time goes quickly. That gap is where the exhaustion lives. It's not overwork that's making you feel exhausted. You're feeling knackered from constantly pushing against something and never quite knowing what it is. If we've not met before, my name is Claire, and I've been in this ever-changing world of online marketing for the last 19 years. Now, I always know how long it is because it was the year before my son was born that I started in this world. And he's almost 18. So letting the math do the math, that is 19 years. And I help female founders, coaches, visionaries become known. I'd love for you to stick around and remember to do your part, leave a heart on this video. I will be forever grateful, and subscribe too, because then you won't miss the next video. For a long time, I felt exhausted. I was so focused on client work that my own business was suffering, and I thought the answer was better time management. We all think that. Get more efficient, get more disciplined, get up earlier, be part of that elite 5 a.m. club. Guess what? Those that know me, you know that 5 a.m. club is not for me. And I want to save you a few years here. Look at your list. Look at it. Go get it if you need to. I'll wait. Pause it. Come back. Now separate that list into two piles. The things you're good at and genuinely enjoy doing, and the things you dread. Not the hard things, the things you dread. The dreaded things. There's a difference, and you'll feel it in your body when you sort them. You'll have a natural resistance to the things that you dread. For most women that I work with, That second pile is doing about 80% of the damage. It's a handful of tasks that sit on the list week after week, getting moved forward, generating a small wave of guilt every time you look at them. They're not the biggest tasks. Often they're small, but they cost you enormously because you're spending energy avoiding them, energy feeling bad about avoiding them, and then finally, eventually, energy doing them badly in a rush because you know you need to get them done. That's the drain. It's not the volume of work, the tasks that you fight against, how you're actually wired. Actually, I want to drop in here a book I read about a decade ago called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It stayed with me this long, so it must have made an impact. I invite you to read it if you haven't already, as I think it might change the way you think about how you approach your to-do list. I want to come back to what you do about that pile because the answer might go against what you've heard before. But before that, there's something we need to clear up about visibility. You have decades of experience. You know what you're good at by now. Maybe you're brilliant with people and terrible with details. Maybe you can write beautifully, but the thought of being on camera like this makes you want to lie down in a darkened room and never show your face again. Maybe you're a strategist who can see the whole vision, but loses interest halfway through the execution. Whichever of these may or may not be true for you, it's all just information about how you work best. Recognize it, acknowledge it. The mistake is treating your weaknesses as problems to be fixed rather than information about yourself that can be worked around. So you spend your energy trying to become someone who enjoys the admin instead of building your business in a way that plays to what you're already excellent at. Running a business can be so much fun when you're working to your strengths. But the sad news is that businesses have lots of different facets. Sometimes you can do your best work in those areas where you're naturally strong, but you're going to need support where you can get it. It's those bits of your business that you don't enjoy doing, the smaller pieces that might need a little bit of a different strategy behind them. It might be different timing, as I said, getting support or lowering standards where it genuinely doesn't matter and won't be seen. The women who last in business haven't conquered all of their weaknesses. Goodness knows, I've still got plenty of weaknesses, and I'll happily share with you. I hate doing anything to do with finance, and I hate doing anything to do with sales. And I've been in business for almost 18 years, and now, goodness gracious me, what these successful businesswomen and potentially myself have in common is that we've stopped pretending that we didn't have weaknesses. And instead, we've built up businesses around our strengths. We know our flow state and we know what doesn't bring us joy. Now, here's where a lot of women properly get stuck. At some point in the timeline of building a business, being visible online has become synonymous, that's a big word, synonymous with being on camera constantly. Show up on stories every day, go live, post reels, be everywhere, be seen, be performing. And if you're a woman over 40 who quite likes her privacy, who doesn't want her face to be on the internet every day, who finds that whole approach genuinely draining, then you've probably concluded that visibility isn't for you. And that conclusion is costing you clients. I want you to think of visibility as a structure. It's the groundwork underneath your business that makes you findable by people who are actively looking for what you do. Your website can be answering questions your ideal client types into Google at 11 o'clock at night when you're fast asleep. Your content organized so search engines and AI tools can actually understand what you offer. The foundations that keep working whether you post it today or not. None of that requires you to be on camera. All of it requires small, consistent action over time. And from what I'm hearing from clients, this is what nobody's explaining to them properly. And I'm here to try and support you in the best way I can. Right, that pile, that to-do list that you've been actively or subconsciously avoiding, and what to actually do with it. You break it into pieces so small, they stop being frightening. I mean, genuinely small. Not sort out my website, because that can feel overwhelming and daunting. But one page of your website might feel doable. Don't go all in on the improve my SEO. Instead, you might want to add in one question your client asks you all the time, written down as a heading with an answer underneath. 15 minutes, that's it. Here's what happens when you work that way. The dread will slowly disappear, because 15 minutes is not enough time to dread anything. The guilt disappears because you did the thing that you've been avoiding. And the compound effect is remarkable, because 15 minutes a day for 2 months is something like 30 hours of focused work on the foundations of your business. 30 hours on the things that can actually make a difference in a year. If you've seen any of my recent videos, you'll hear me banging on about the research behind this that I find genuinely reassuring. Dr. Philippa Lally at the University College of London studied how long it takes for a new behaviour to become automatic. The average across her participants was 66 days. Not 21, which is the number that everyone repeats, 66, which means you're not failing when a new habit hasn't stuck after 3 weeks. You're just simply 3 weeks into it. This is exactly why I built the frequency of found. 66 days built around Dr. Lally's research. Each day you get 2 things: an align action, which is about your energy and your mindset and how you're actually feeling about your business, because you can't build anything solid on a foundation of exhaustion. And a found action, which is one small practical piece of the groundwork that makes you findable online. 15 minutes, 2 things every day for 66 days. There are 4 tracks depending on where you are right now. So you're not doing beginner tasks if you're not a beginner, and you're not being thrown at the deep end if you're just starting. And I'm doing the 66 days alongside everyone because I need it as much as you do. It's at www.frequencyoffound.co.uk. I'll pop the link in the description below. And it's currently £8.88, which is the founding price, and considerably less than it will be once a few people have gone through this first round and given me feedback. Your to-do list will never be finished. That's not the goal. The goal is to stop letting the same few things and for you to stop letting the same few things stay on it and draining you every time you look at them. 15 minutes, that's all I'm asking. Start tomorrow. Remember, do your part, leave a heart, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.